Welcome back to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise as Madison Boston heads on the road for the first time as interim head coach of the Jags to Philadelphia, facing a very good Eagles team. But our Jaguars are coming off a great start under Coach Madison Boston as he helped the team take down the Green Bay Packers 21-18 in his first game in the NFL as a coach. But immediately following that game, he got to work taking a look at his roster. As he came in week 8, he had to make some decisions rather quickly. And the first one came here at right guard. With Brandon Scherff and Walker Little both sitting here, both players that should be starters in the NFL, Boston decided he was going to start shopping around Brandon Scherff. And being a very good guard here, a superstar, a lot of teams were interested in trading for him and giving up quite a lot in return. But there was one deal in particular that stuck out to Madison Boston, a young corner buried on the Eagles depth chart, and we also just so happen to be playing against the Eagles in the following game. As for the Jaguars corner depth, it is very uncertain past Tyson Campbell. You have Ronald Darby, the aging vet, and then you have a couple other guys who just never quite lived up to their hype. We have a rookie of our own in Jarrian Jones, but he hasn't shown enough to hit that field quite yet. And the Eagles are desperate to find a right guard, as Tyler Steen and Trevor Keegan have not shown enough. But Boston played hardball, and he got them to toss in a third-round pick instead of the 5 they originally offered, and they struck a deal. Coach Boston then went to his own locker room, trying to make 2 deals happen with Tyson Campbell and Andre Cisco, cornerstones of the future of this defense. Campbell would be looking for about $7 million per year for 5 years. And a lot of interest coming from both parties. Boston would offer $7 million on the dot for 5 years each, a total of $35 million in total, and he would sign the deal. As for Andre Cisco, he was looking for a 3-year deal, about $5.5 million. Coach would end up giving him 1 extra year, lowering the salary but raising up the bonus, still offering $5.5 per season, though for an extra year. But Cisco didn't like that salary being lowered despite for a longer duration and higher bonus. But heading into practice to get ready for the Eagles, obviously with some big moves being made during the week, reporters are showing up to practice asking Coach Boston how he feels about the moves and why he made those decisions. And Boston responded with praise of Ringo, who had been buried on the Eagles depth chart, a lot of raw talent that he believes he could pull out. And obviously Campbell has shown plenty of talent during his time here in the NFL and earned his contract extension, helping solidify what he hopes is going to be the cornerstone of the cornerback group for the future. But this will be a tough game for Coach Boston and the Jags. The Eagles are 7-0 at this point of their season. They currently are 3rd in the NFL in points per game offensively, behind a lot of rushing yards. The passing game hasn't really been all too great for them. Their defense, though, has been phenomenal. 3rd in points allowed and 1st in both passing and rushing yards given up. So with the stage set and already big moves being made, it's going to be the biggest game of his young career. Madison Boston, as his team goes out to kick this one off, we are underway. As Rodgers will look to return this one down the middle, slipping one, finding a little bit of a gap, and starting at the 31. Jalen Hurts and the offense will head on out. He's off to a good start this year, 10 touchdowns to only 2 turnovers. And of course, at right guard, he's got a brand new blocker to help open things up, and they run right behind him, the pulling guard. Handing this one off and picking up 8 goes Gainwell. Though I do have to say, early on here, Philadelphia is rather quiet. Eye form for the Eagles as they hand it off down the middle and swallowed up. Walker gets the TFL. It's going to be a loss of 5 for Saquon as Devontae Smith is injured on the play. He'll head to the sideline. That could be a big miss here for the Eagles as Hurts back in shotgun with a 3rd and long. He had trips to the right-hand side, throws it underneath, and Goddard just misses all the defenders as they fell on their face. He's going to pick up a gain of near 30. And that'll finally bring a little bit out of this fan base. Never heard Philadelphia be so quiet. Back in pistol goes Hurts as his team is into plus territory. Saquon looking to bounce this to the outside. Will pick up a gain of 3. He's coming off a very strong performance last week where he totaled just over 120 rushing on 17 carries. Pretty good. And again, he also now is going to benefit from the help to the offensive line via the trade. Pass to the outside. Goddard chopped down with a gain of 6. And that'll leave the Eagles just needing 1, but it will not be the tush push. Instead, opposite, empty set as Saquon motions out. Double A gap look for the Jags. They bring the heat and throwing outside and off the mark, which is good news as Campbell, he tripped on the play. But the Eagles will not be settling for the field goal attempt. Instead, trips go to the right-hand side, one to the left. It's read option. Hurts has a lead blocker who doesn't block anyone. Cisco crashes down to get the tackle. But it's just a bit too late, or a lot more than a bit, as Hurts scrambles down to the 15. They got a fresh set of downs with a tight shotgun look. Hurts looking to throw. He's got Goddard again as Devin Lloyd couldn't bring him down. Eventually Campbell and Edmonds will, but he gains 8 along the way. Leaving a 2nd and 2. They go Saquon and Cisco with the tackle, but it will be a fresh set of downs inside the 5. Boston's defense is going to have to bow up here as any option out on the field could get the ball. Hurts could look to run it if he wants. Instead, he throws diving touchdown. Albert O gives the Eagles the lead here in front of their home fans. A smooth drive for Philly as they take 4 minutes off the quarter. But now time to get Boston's offense out there. Dexter Lawrence and the tight end game carried them in their opener with their new coach. Look to see how much they go that way as they barely get the tight end screen out, but it loses 4. There was instant pressure down the middle, good flow on the outside, and it's 2nd and 14. With another shotgun look here, they go ETN on the halfback screen as he finds a little lane and will pick up 9. He's been demanding a little bit more usage in both the running game as well as the passing game, getting stuck in on just the 2nd play. Though leaving 5 on 3rd, Lawrence dropping back, goes to the left side and overthrows Davis, who would have had the 1st down. Big blow for the Jaguars offense, who should have continued that drive. And it gives the ball back to the Eagles as Jalen Hurts is the 3rd best quarterback right now in terms of rushing yards, 220, helping really elevate that group as Saquon couldn't avoid the toe tackle. Oluwakin meets him in the gap, no gain. 2nd and 10, they go with the tight shotgun look. Going back to Saquon, and again met by Oluwakin, who dumps him. Looks like we'll have a fun battle between those two today. They do give Saquon about half a yard gained. Mark it 3rd and 9. As Hurts has all the time to throw to wide open Goddard, who splits the DBs. It's a foot race. Campbell dives and misses. The Eagles go up by 2 as both of their tight ends find a touchdown early on. And that makes Lawrence's incomplete pass from their first drive even more important. As it's 1st and 10, they start at the 32, needing to find an answer here. RPO, gain of 3. ETN was well involved in the new offense here for the Jags last game, already looking like he's getting well involved in this one. Pass across the middle and a little bit behind ETN. He makes the adjustment, weaving to the outside. He makes it by the 50 before he is dropped. Expect the Jags to go with more of those quicker passing games, especially against this defense. Little play action fake, cross the middle and finding DeGuara. That's tight end 3. He picks up 12. Of course, we all know that the tight end is going to be well utilized here in a tight end offense. As we make it to the end of the quarter, it was a Eagles first quarter. Opportunities missed here for the Jags offense. Eagles took well advantage. We've still got plenty of time in here as we start at the 36. A shotgun spread look under pressure and throwing out of the sack. It did look like there was a guy open in the flats on the left-hand side. Lawrence obviously running the opposite way. Couldn't see it. 2nd and 10, hard count, no one jumps. They bring the blitz again. Lofted throw, he finds Christian Kirk, who picks up 8. And an injury on the play is Carter. A big part of the middle of this defensive front for the Eagles. He heads to the sideline for 3rd and 2. It's a strong pistol set. Etienne to the outside, squeezes out the first. Little didn't get out there quick enough to block out that DB, but it didn't matter either way as it is holding. And that's going to be at the opposite guard spot in Ezra Cleveland, making it 3rd and 11. 2 spread either side. Hard count from Lawrence. Movement, but who jumped first? The tackle or the edge rush? They're going to get encroachment. Well, Josh Sweat couldn't hold his water. It's now 3rd and 6. 2 penalties here on 3rd down as we keep having to replay. Lawrence throws into the butt of the center. But Coach Madison Boston being aggressive here, staying out with the offense. 4th and 6, hard count from Lawrence. Someone jumps well after the snap, but he gets back on side. As they go across, and Evan Ingram gets that 1st down. It was not by much, but we are finally past that set of downs with a fresh set at the 26. Bunch to the left-hand side. Lawrence rolls to the right-hand side. He's got Davis, small window, and he couldn't squeeze it through. Tipped away. Half second sooner, that one might be a touchdown. Instead, 2nd and 10, still at the 26. Spread empty look here for Lawrence. As he is rolling, he's got a guy open, but he throws it straight to Slay. With a convoy in front, he's going to outrun that lineman. 20, 10, 5, pick 6. Lawrence threw that one straight to the DB. He had his target open to the right, but he threw it clear to the left. So after all that work on 3rd and 4th down to finally convert, it then gives a 3-score lead to the Eagles. Going to the running game here. It opens up for Etienne. Great blocking on the left-hand side, but a bunch of speed and saving the play for the Eagles. Ryan Neal flies over and ruins Etienne's touchdown celebration. But we're back to the 30, back into scoring range. Back under pressure again and throwing this one out of bounds. Feels like the Jaguars have got stuck in this downfield throwing game despite being better underneath. They hand it off on 2nd down and pick up 5 Etienne. So perhaps a little tuning up here with the play calling, and this drive will continue. Another 3rd and medium. As they look to set up another screen, Etienne with a blocker out in front. He's got the 1st down. Not going to get by the 10. Stood up. But the targets just keep flowing his way. As we're approaching the 5-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, bunch to the left-hand side for Lawrence as they fake the little quick flip. They go to Thomas, and the rookie's got the touchdown. First of our time, at least here in this series. He might have had one prior to, but a little dump off underneath from Lawrence makes a couple moves in the open field, and he draws us back in this game. With the offense finally cracking that scoreboard, can the defense force a stop? 5:12 left here in the half as Hurts motions out one of his tight ends, playing fullback and going Saquon. Rushing game just hasn't been open for him. The only Eagle to really find any success running was Hurts on that read option earlier. 2nd and 8, they will look to pass with plenty of time in the pocket. Eventually, though, wrapping around, it's Josh Hines Allen picking up the sack. And the defense really needs him to come alive this year. He's got to lead that front group. It's going to be the best part of this defense. With a 3rd and 15, Hurts open, dropped across the middle. That should have been another 1st down for the Eagles. Instead, they could fly to their bench as they punt this ball away. With the Jags potentially building a little bit of some momentum, we start at the 28 with a weak eye here. And play action under pressure and sack. Lawrence could not break away from Alexander. And it's going to be 2nd and 19. With trips to the left-hand side, Davis lone to the right-hand side. Lawrence trying to make up some plays here with a jump ball for Davis. It's overthrown. Honestly, we got to be pretty lucky that Darius Slay doesn't have 2 interceptions on the day. Now trips to the left-hand side, Ingram on the right-hand side, 3rd and long, and again early movement here on the hard count. And it'll be the second encroachment on Sweat, so 3rd and 14 then with an empty set here. Lawrence, he's under pressure immediately. He had ETN, but he couldn't get it off. The pass rush proves too good for the Eagles. We'll have to punt it right back. A little battle of field position here as the Eagles take over at the 36. They're already up 2 touchdowns, 3:15 and counting left in this half. As Hurts, he's going to look to scramble with open grass, getting by and slipping by Lloyd. He takes a hit from Savage, but he flips the field for the Eagles. Inside 3 minutes. They come out with 1 to the left-hand side, 2 to the right. Still looking to pass that ball, getting pressure and around the edge, contain. Hurts scrambles for about another gain of 7. We've got to have much better there from Walker. He can't be giving up stop opportunities as we still contain Saquon. Oluwakan meets him in the gap, and it's now 3rd and 1. As they will quick pass the ball, they've got Goddard. Lloyd playing his coverage a little too loose there. Misses the opportunity for the stop. 1st and 10. And finding the dump off. First catch on the day for Brown. He'll pick up 9. We haven't seen anything from Smith or him until that point. Smith has returned from his earlier injury. 2nd and 1. Blitz off the edge. Walker, but throwing and getting the first down. Eagles will quickly call the timeout right after with a 1st and goal. They sit at the 7. Saquon, the running back, they look to set up the screen his way right by the blitz. He shakes 1, shakes 2, and just gets to the 4. But I do like the play calling there from the Eagles, giving one of their guys an opportunity here with blockers in front. 2nd and goal, rolling and finding Brown. He's got the touchdown. Eagles go back up by 3. Scores. We're going to have to find out if Lawrence can bite into that with just 31 seconds left. We do have 3 timeouts. It's a tight under center formation. Dropping back, looking for Kirk, who gets the catch by Mitchell. It's going to be a big gain. He tried to cut back underneath. They had those timeouts, so why not try for a little bit more yards? That's a big play for the Jaguars offense and could give Little an opportunity at a field goal if they gain about 10 or so more yards. They go ETN on the screen, and that one goes nowhere. White flows quickly, and that leaves a 2nd and 11. Trips go to left-hand side, Davis to the right. Lawrence back in the pocket, throws across the middle, and it's picked off by Slay. He tried to find Davis to get themselves into range. Instead, it should be halftime. A close game it could be, but just some opportunities slipping through the fingers of the Jaguars. Eagles find themselves up here 28-7. Turnovers being the biggest cause of issue for the Jaguars offense. Defense have made some plays here and there, but they might need to make some turnovers happen. Taking a look around the league, we got the Jets hosting the Houston Texans, and the Texans drop another game as the Jets improve to 5-4, 27-19. As for the second studio update, we have down in Atlanta, the Cowboys come to town and they wipe the floor with the now 3-6 Kirk Cousins-led Falcons, 38-17. Prescott 3 touchdowns, Kirk Cousins 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Here's a broad look across the board here as the Chiefs and Buccaneers, they play on Monday night. And before we get back into the second half here, talking to Coach Boston about how that first half went, he really talked about the offense. We got to get that going and clean up the turnovers and get the ball to ETN. And as the Jaguars hit the field to start the second half on offense, I expect we will see a little bit more of ETN, maybe a little bit more spread looks, get him out in the passing game as he did pretty well with it. They start with the I form, following the blocks in. ETN gets clogged up by those blocks, no gain. But we'll see what wrinkles Coach Boston has in store for us with that running back spot. As the blitz is brought, throw to the outside and caught Christian Kirk. Jaguars down to the 38. Oh, it hasn't been a problem for the Jaguars to get to this spot of the field. It's been beyond this part of the field that they have struggled. ETN, gain of 2. Of course, the problem when you feed a player at running back, we see that they get worn down. Etienne a little bit slow to get up there, so they'll spread him out to the receiver spot here. As the Eagles bring the blitz, they have Davis open. Pass is unguarded. It's a touchdown for Jacksonville. I don't know if the corner thought that that ball was going to sail out of bounds, but Gabe Davis reels it in. An absolutely crazy play, but it caps off a quick 1 minute, 32-second drive to kick the second half off as the Jaguars take another bite into this Eagles lead, 28-14. This is going to come down to the defense stopping the offense of the Eagles that has been high-flying today. A lot of passing as they work themselves open across the middle. The man coverage does not flow, and it's a big first down for the Eagles on play one. Campbell picks up yet another big grab. Though most of the work from that receiving group has been on catch and runs. A lot of just extra plays being made here by the Eagles offense and finding another soft spot in the zone. Hurts is putting in a clinic here as Hines Allen a little bit shaken up on the play for the Jaguars. He's going to head to the bench. And that's not really a position the Jags are very deep in. Travis Gibson is going to step in his stead. The bunch to the left-hand side. Hurts will look to throw across the middle and finding their tight end, Dallas Goedert. He's picked up a lot of catches today. 3rd and 2. Saquon trucks through the corner and gets smacked down by Cisco at the 3. That's the first big Saquon run of the night. Empty set here. They quarterback draw it, and Oluwakon's all over it. As the offense for the Jags continues trying to battle from behind. Gabe Davis coming off that big grab, though his only catch of the night. He's had 6 targets. He just hasn't found himself actually bringing those in. And off the fingertips of the tight end in DeGuara. Some of Lawrence's passes just a smidge off the mark tonight, and it's been cause of concern for sure. They've definitely missed out on a lot of opportunities. As they hit him this time, he's got the first near the 50-yard line. Obviously, Coach Boston talking about getting the running game going with Etienne. Haven't seen it as too much in this second half as we did in the first half. He loses 2 on that handoff. Alexander making yet another play in the backfield. Leaves a 2nd and 12 as we're inside 3 minutes here of the third quarter. Stretch goes to the right-hand side. Etienne, he will cut it up and pick up 6. Well, that does still leave him needing 4 more here. 3rd and 4 with a bunch to the right-hand side. Lawrence back in shotgun and underthrowing his receiver. Though it did look like Etienne was also trying to run a route there. He got stuck across the line. 4th and 4, offense stays out here. Bunch to the right, no one jumps on the hard count. They got another receiver across the middle and off the chest of Davis. That's 7 targets with only 1 catch, and he was uncovered that time. Should have been a first. Well, the offense definitely feeling disjointed here for the Jaguars, and it's not even due to the trade that they made. Pass downfield and tipped away from Savage. Now, there was a lot of talks of this defense needing to force a turnover. That was a prime opportunity. It's 2nd and 10 here as Hurts goes to hand this one off. Saquon trying to stretch it, but he's not getting by Savage. Great tackle on the outside. And even with the changes made at the cornerback spot, he's still playing that slot corner. 3rd and 11 here for the Jags. They got to get off the field. As all the time here for Hurts to throw, but under pressure, Walker, he picks up the sack. And that is a stop by the defense. That'll get the ball back to Trevor Lawrence and the offense, but the offense has got to finish a drive. They have struggled to do that today. It's the I form where they start. Play action. And have a receiver across the middle. That's DeGuara yet again. Tight end 3 gets a block downfield. He's got some speed. Gardner Johnson in pursuit. Gets there too late. Tight end 3 gets the touchdown as DeGuara on the move. Takes it all the way to the house. About 50 yards of yak. And now once again, Jaguars behind by just 2 touchdowns. Still over a quarter to play. They can make something happen. They can continue making their plays. Eagles pick up 2 on their dump off, leaving 2nd and 8 with about time for 1 more play here this quarter. Down the middle, Saquon. He's not beat Oluwakon once today. But at the moment, he hasn't had to. Eagles up 35-21 as we head into the fourth quarter. We could make the plays. We could get ourselves back into this one, but we just need a little bit more from both sides. And it's prime opportunity here with a 3rd and 7. Gotta get off the field. Plenty of time to throw and finding the first down. They've just struggled to end these drives. Eagles have not struggled to continue them. 1st and 10 now at the 31. RPO and finding Brown. He only gets his about 3rd catch on the day. And he is facing Ringo, so Ringo's done a really good job against him here. Of course, he's probably faced him quite a few times in practice. Gain of 4 yet again to Goddard. Gone his way quite often, leaving 6 here on 2nd. Pistol form for Jalen Hurts, as he's got a really strong right side of the line. Hasn't helped Saquon, though it has helped with the pass blocking. Dumping this one off to Saquon. Hines, as well as Ringo, bring him down. With yet another 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. The defense finally make that play, get off the field where it's going to be an empty set, as they do have the X factor in Brown on that left-hand side. Lucan taking off the underneath and missing the throw to Brown coming across. That should have been a first down and a lot more. And so the defense will head off the field. And trying to come back from a 35-21 deficit. Starting at the 35 is the Jaguars offense. They got 2 to the right-hand side, 2 to the left, as they're going to motion over Kirk from that left-hand side. He'll come in and play some slot. To the outside they go. Thomas, who gets the grab, but he slips as Mitchell slipped as well. They get a catch and run there. That might be a tutty. It's at 2nd and inches with 2 to the left-hand side. Lawrence, he goes across the middle, back to Thomas. He's got another first down grab. Now the Jags do have to work semi-quickly here as we're inside 5 minutes left. They need 2 touchdowns to tie this game. Hand this one off. Down the middle, ETN with a powerful run. He picks up 8. And getting back to the line quickly as well. With 2 tight ends on the right-hand side, they go play action, pick up the block, but no one open. Lawrence gets rid of it. That leaves a 3rd and 2 with 3 tight ends all to the right-hand side. They hand it off to the left. ETN's got the first down, not slipping under the safety in 27. But he does continue this drive for the Jaguars. He needs 25 more rushing to reach 100, though with the time constraints, they probably won't find a way to do that, though they hand it off here, RPO. And for a gain of 3, it does take up a good amount of time. Lawrence changing things up here. He sends the receivers to the left-hand side, though making another change here. He's got Ingram to the right-hand side. Needing 7 here for a first down. Blitz comes off the left. He dumps it off. ETN takes a shot, no gain. It looked like the big hit would have come either to Lawrence or ETN on that one. Bunch to the right with a 3rd and 7. Lawrence, he's got an open target lofted. That one looks like it's airmailed. That should have been an easy pitch and catch touchdown. That's the exact kind of play that has led to the hot seat of Trevor Lawrence. Keeping the offense out here. 4th and 7. And they got another open target, and it's too far again. Thomas should have had his 2nd touchdown of the game. Could Lawrence become the next QB who was expected to be a fantastic talent to just dwindle? The team also has another one of those as the backup quarterback that they recently brought in from the Patriots, Saquon. He goes down the middle, and he picks up 6. 2-minute warning arrives, and the Eagles are trying to run the rest of this clock out. I form with a 2nd and 4. Stacking the line, they go back to Saquon, and getting the stop is Hines Allen. Coach Boston calls the quick timeout there. A 3rd and 2, needing another stop here from their defense. And right down the middle, Smith, the rookie out of LSU, ends the drive for the Eagles. After several missed opportunities last drive, Lawrence takes the field here with only 1 timeout, still needing 2 touchdowns to tie. Can his team pull it off? As they look for a deep shot here, Christian Kirk through his hands. Mitchell, he makes a big play to break that one up, but it doesn't look like it would have mattered either way. A holding call comes in on the Jaguars line. It is Little, leaving us with a 1st and 20. And looking again for a deep shot. Going back down the field, Etienne on Mitchell, and it's overthrown by about 3 to 4 yards. One thing we have seen today is that Lawrence can throw the ball. It's the accuracy that has very much been in question. Bunch to the right-hand side. And just locking everyone down. Squeezing it in, though. He does find Thomas. Missed him on the touchdown the previous drive. They've got to get a first down at the minimum here with 3rd and inches. They're going to motion over their tight end to the left-hand side. Hand this one off Etienne, and he's got the first down, though not much more. They've got to get right back to the line and find some more big plays downfield. As they hit the 42nd mark, Lawrence, he's going to the outside. He's got Ingram, who gets the grab, turning up, going to pick up about an extra 10 before he heads out at the 26. And now they just need to actually find the end zone here. That's been the problem all game long. Empty set here from Lawrence. He's making a couple different changes out there. Got trips to the right-hand side. 32 seconds left. And he tosses this one up and tipped away, intended for Duvernay. They've tested Slay a few times today. Hasn't worked out a single time, but they keep going for him. 27 seconds left. And they've got Etienne. It's underthrown. Again, opportunities are there. Lawrence is just not taking advantage of it. 23 seconds left. They bring the blitz. He throws out of a sack. A late hit there. No flag down on the field. And it will be 4th and game here for Lawrence, though they do still need 2 touchdowns. Still have that timeout as they let this play develop. And it looks like Lawrence, he's just going to scramble with it. He can't miss a throw if he doesn't throw it. But it'll get out of bounds at the 15, 14 seconds, and still needing 2 touchdowns, 2 spread, either side. Everyone is held up well. Lawrence, he's looking to scramble, pushing, diving. He gets the touchdown here late on. But can they get the onside? And can they find another touchdown? Well, it all will come down to this as he sends it into the next level and diving on it. Eagles recover. Jaguars nearly gave themselves an opportunity, but they drop the game to the Eagles, and Eagles remain undefeated. Got to give a little bit of props to this Jaguars team. They never quit today, but they came up short. Lawrence finishes just 50% complete. He did throw for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Hurts completed 81% with 3 touchdowns. Goddard was the leading receiver, 7 grabs for 139 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown also got in the end zone. Thomas for us and DeGuara. Now, despite that loss, I still think there were some good notes to take from this game. And first being that Etienne, he's definitely, I feel like, the leader of this offense. Lawrence does not appear to be that guy. While he can make big plays happen, he misses out on, honestly, more than he can actually make happen. Etienne might need to be the focus, so we might shift the offense, focusing a little bit more on him. He had 11 attempts for 80 yards, averaging 7.3 a rush, so we need to get him going. We also need to make sure that future quarterbacks aren't scrambling all over us. The other key note I want to mark here is that A.J. Brown, for most of the game, not the entire game, but most of the game, he was lined up against Ringo. And the touchdown that he actually had in that game, he wasn't lined up against Ringo. So Ringo actually performed pretty well. Brown was out of that game for the entire first half. In fact, we didn't see much of anything from the top 2 receivers here. Devontae Smith was actually held catchless as most of the game he was on Campbell. So where the passing game struggled, that was through the slot corner, safety play, and play from the linebackers. And kind of the lack of pass rush we had, that was very inconsistent. And the pass rush we did get, that was after Hurts was back there for about 5 hours. So we need to get some better pass rush going, and we need a little bit better play from the rest of our cover unit. But some good notes there. And I'm sure after that game, there's probably going to be quite a few of you who are wondering if we plan to do anything new at quarterback, or do we stick with Lawrence? Well, this first draft class is really good at the quarterback spot. So I think we would be amiss if we didn't at least take a look at what the options are. There are 3 players in the top 5. You got 2 more first rounders, and then you also have another round 1 to 2. That doesn't mean that these round 2 to 3s Wouldn't be good. We'll definitely keep an eye on these guys, but I don't know if that's going to be exactly what we look to do after this season. Lawrence is under contract for a long time, a lot of money. We might be able to trade that. We'll look into all possibilities. But I think with what we saw today, going up against a good passing team, we have got to keep an eye on the DBs. Campbell and I think Ringo, I think those two could be cornerstones. Whether Ringo always plays on the outside or maybe he plays a big slot type depends on what other options we find. Because Darby, Flowers, Aruarie, they're not really going to be a part of our future. Maybe Jarrian Jones can produce and grow. He is a hidden dev. We should probably get him out on the field. He just doesn't have exactly that skill set we're looking for, but he's not going to develop it if he isn't on the field. So next game, I think we're going to start Jarrian Jones in the slot. And as for these safeties, well, obviously we're trying to extend Andre Cisco. I think he could be phenomenal for us throughout our time. The question is with Antonio Johnson, the second-year free safety. I think he has an upside at strong. Zone is his weaker. His speed is below 90, but he has man, he has some hit power, he could tackle. I think he could play a little bit of strong, and I actually put him in about midway in that third quarter, and the defense started making some stops. So we might start him as well next time at strong safety. Terrell Edmonds is only under a 1-year contract. Savage, he's more of a hybrid. He could play corner, he could play safety. I like having that kind of guy just on a roster. Wingard, he's probably going to be gone after this year, but we might try to get some of these younger guys going. There is one other younger guy I would like to see some playing time for in Jordan Jefferson. He's just a normal dev, which is unfortunate. Hamilton, he has the better ratings, but we're not seeing him do anything spectacular. So we might see a little bit more rotation between those two. And all those players will see time against the Minnesota Vikings, who are 2-6. If you've been around the channel for a long time, you know the Vikings are my team. They are 5-1 in real life. They're looking good. Clearly, Madden doesn't care about an offense that is 87 overall. Defense being an 81, I don't agree with that at all. Flores, he's going to up that ante, but they aren't doing anything spectacular rating-wise. Neither are we. We're going to start to dial in this offense next time, and hopefully the defense will start making some better plays. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down to the sub button and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. Madden every single Tuesday and Thursday. College football every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We got 5 videos coming your way as we return home next time to host those Minnesota Vikings.